on the international arrest warrant for Mr. Benjamin Netanyahu. We're learning. Now, what does that mean? That means that just as much as Vladimir Putin is a fugitive, according to the Western world, um, Mr. Benjamin Netanyahu will become a fugitive. Now, here's the problem: is that nobody in the West will arrest him. Nobody. Although people in the West are so willing to arrest Putin, well, willing, but they can't do it. Nobody can do it. Nobody can dare doing it. Nobody can try to do it. Nobody can try to do it. That is certainly the truth. So not just nobody can dare doing it, nobody can try to do it. So Mr. Benjamin Netanyahu is actually threatened by this, and he's very worried about such a decision to put some international arrest warrant for him, his Ministry of Defense, and he's a chief of staff. So those three are targeted by arrest warrant for the International Criminal Court. And can such a thing happen? I mean, in theory, that is happening, but in practice, we can see that people trying to do it, trying to do something like that, but in practice, it's not going to happen ever. Can that happen? Is it possible to see that happening? Probably not. I'm not going to hold my breath for this one. Probably going to end up dying before anything like that happens. We have some really gruesome crime and atrocity that happened in Gaza. And sadly, the world that we live in, or those who rule the world that we live in, don't seem to recognize or acknowledge the gravity of the crimes that we've seen there in Gaza. The people are protesting and they're asking for justice because there need to be some sort of justice for what oh God for what has been happening there in Gaza. I've got a bit of a stiff neck there. For what's been happening there in Gaza, so we need some sort of justice for this. People are begging for justice. I mean, like for the very minimum, it says ceasefire. Come on, give us a ceasefire. No. So ultimately, I believe that the American president should also have a warrant because he's the one arming and encouraging the Israeli to do what they've done. And I also think that the British Prime Minister should also get summoned to court. They should all be made accountable for the disastrous situation that we see in Gaza. You can't just go around and kill people, ignoring all the international treaties and rules that govern war and combat in combat zone. Whichever combat zone, nobody is allowed to overstate, overrule what the international system is actually got in place. Like we have here Israel saying, we don't care. We don't care what you're going to do. We're going to do whatever we need to do. We don't care what you guys say. We don't care what you guys do. We don't care how many people cry. We don't care how many people get on the street to protest for this. We just don't care. We will do whatever we want and nothing will happen. And that's what we tend to see. It looks like nobody can touch Israel because America has made Israel untouchable. America has made the Jewish government one that is above the law, because they're running the veto system or the veto of America. So whenever you want to condemn Israel, America will veto it. So as for this arrest warrant, I'll tell you what will happen if one of them is issued. Well, number one, what will happen is that they're going to say that they don't, and they're going to say that I hate calls like this when I'm on live. Hello.
Hi, Blessing just finished his match. Football.
Okay, I'm just outside. If you come with him, I'm just outside.
Oh, okay, no worries.
Right at the door.
All right, let's go.
Okay. Yeah, so oh dear. So America would just say, we're going to put some sanctions onto you guys, all the judges that have decided to rule or to issue this warrant, they're going to be put under sanction instead. I mean, it's the world in reverse. Like, instead of sanctioning those who have committed the genocide or those who have actually killed people, they will sanction those who decide to denounce or to expose the criminals. This is just crazy. And that's what we will get from America. They'll put those people under sanctions. They'll say, oh, you don't have the right, you can't come here to this country. You can't travel to America or so. You can't travel to America, you can't travel to France, you can't travel to Britain because you have issued some mandate for the arrest of the Israeli Prime Minister and his chief of staff and his war chief of staff and his defense minister. So what do you guys think about this? I think it's a good idea. I mean, that we're even talking about this. Some will say, well, this is progress. This is massive. This is big. This is, but I don't see it as such, because it's got to happen. This is beyond a joke. 35,000 people killed. For what? 35,000 people killed. What was achieved? Hamas is still there. And I said it to you guys. They will claim these as an excuse to commit the genocide, but Hamas will still be there, because Hamas is not a person, is not like what they describe. Hamas is an ideology, and as long as they keep dropping those bombs and chopping people's limbs and destroying people's houses, killing women and children, elderly and disabled people, unarmed people, journalists, emergency worker like ambulance driver, and all these police, not police, but it's not considered police there as being part of the civilian, population. But the nurses, the doctors being killed, the journalists, the United Nations personnel. This is chaos. This is living in a different world, in a different world, in a different era. And we are letting it happen as if this is the way it should be, or as if we can't do nothing. That's wrong. We can do everything we can in our power to do this. So you let me know in the comment section below what you think about this. The debate continues in the comment section below. See you there.